hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, whatever time it is. If it's super late, please go to bed. Like I'm supposed to be doing right now because I have work at the crack of dawn tomorrow, but I really just want to chat instead of going to bed. So here I am chatting with you. Because I have some really funny stories that I really want to tell because to me they are absolutely hysterical. And yeah, also if you hear the sounds of like pen and paper, I'm kind of doodling as I talk. So one of the stories I want to tell is, oh my goodness. So I am not super close with one of my grandmothers. And we get along enough, but for some reason she always thought I was the troublemaker of the family. I have no idea where she got that vibe, because I don't think I give off that vibe, but I don't know, maybe I was just a really rambunctious kid. I don't know. Maybe she just thinks I never outgrew being kind of crazy, and, maybe that's true. I'm not sure. I think I'm more, mature and reserved now, but, who's to say? Okay. So, with that said, I'm not super duper close with her. But I started doing this thing where I would write her letters because she's not super tech savvy and she doesn't get out much. So I started writing her letters saying, I miss you, you're the best, just the sweet granddaughterness. And what I would do is sometimes I would print out pictures of stuff going on in my life, writing little notes on the back of what they were and sending them to her in my letters. And she loved them. She loved the letters with all the pictures in them. And one day while I was writing her a letter, I was like, I'm going to do something different. And I sent her a picture of me and this guy. On the back of the picture, it said, "This is the guy I'm kind of sweet on. He's really nice." It was something super just innocent and, I didn't really draw much attention to it, but I thought she'd find it either cute or funny because it is. And I send it and I don't think much of it because it was one picture and with a bunch of others. So it was just one of them until I get a phone call. Or I don't get a phone call, she calls our like the family phone. And, I don't think much of it, except it is odd that she's calling because she normally calls on, birthdays and holidays. And it was at a time when there was nothing significant happening. So I was a little like, uh-oh, is this about me? And one of my family members answers and goes, "Hello, Taffy?" "Oh, yeah, you can speak to Taffy." And I was like, what did I do? And I get the phone and I'm like, "Hello?" She's like, "I love your letters. They're so much fun. I love seeing all the pictures. And I love you and all your boyfriends." And I was like, what? And she was like, "All your boyfriends." I had sent her the one thing telling her that I kind of liked a guy, and I think a couple times I had sent her a picture of one of my old really close guy friends. So like, but apparently she thought that I had dated multiple guys. And she's like, "I love all your boyfriends." And I'm like, "Grandmother, I don't have any boyfriends." And she's like, "Oh, just give him a chance, give it time, And she was just 100% being like, "Don't worry, they're gonna fall for you." And after I was like, "Okay, grandmother, okay." And after I get off that phone call, I went to my mom and I was like, "She thinks that I've dated a ton of different guys." Like, apparently Taffy has a long list of exes, which I don't. But I I can still hear her just being like, I love hearing about all your boyfriends. I'm like, grandmother. But see, the thing is, it didn't end there. Like a year or so later, we get on a video call with that whole side of my family. And they do the age-old, relative question, the question that your relatives always ask and say, oh, do any of you have boyfriends or girlfriends yet? They always ask that. And I said no. And my grandmother, who's on the video call, goes, no, Taffy has a boyfriend. And I was like, I don't. But it was so awkward because in front of my entire family, I had to, not my close family, but my entire that side of my family, I had to be like, no, I'm single. I don't know why you thought I was dating. I just said I liked a guy 2 years ago. Oh, it was so awkward and hilarious. I'm going to tell that story till the day I die. My goodness. Okay, but see, the other story that I have is another one related to this kind of thing because I find it funny. I don't know why. Okay, so me and one of my really close friends went to the mall, and she's like my big sister friend, and she's just amazing. I think she watches my videos. So hi, you know who you are. You know who you are. So we went out to the mall, girl shopping day. You always gotta have them. And we had been shopping for a little while, and one of our last destinations was we were returning to go into one of the comic book stores, or it was one of those stores that just has a ton of different fandom stuff and a lot of manga and Funko Pops, that type of store. I love those stores. I love those stores so much. And I went back in to grab her a teddy bear that she was eyeing, and I wanted to buy it for her. And so as we're there walking around, I passed this guy. He's tall, he's pretty cute, and he's holding the Taylor Swift Red album, the vinyl. And so I'm a huge Taylor Swift person. That probably doesn't come off as a surprise. I probably give off that vibe. But I am a big Taylor Swift fan. And so I went up to him and I was like, I forgot, what did I say? But I awkwardly was just like, that's a really good album choice. And he was like, oh yeah, thank you. And I go to walk away, but then I was like, you know what? Let's talk to this dude. So I sat down, I was like, what's your favorite song on the album? And he said, well, All Too Well. I know everybody says All Too Well, but it's All Too Well. It's so special. And I was like, oh, I completely agree. And he said, but State of Grace is really good. And I said, I don't think I've heard that one. And he was like, oh, it's super good. You should. And I said, maybe I've heard it, but I forgot. And he was like, you should really listen to it. It's really good. And I said, okay, I'm waiting to buy Red. And he was like, oh, but the new release is coming out. This dude knew his stuff on Taylor Swift. And I was greatly impressed. And I was like, yeah, waiting for the new album. Well, it was great talking to you. And I leave. But see, the thing is, this dude, he was cute. I'll admit it. And he had a younger sibling there, and the younger sibling was hiding behind him, and my friend loves younger children, so she struck up a conversation with the younger sibling. It was a really just fluffy, cute, wholesome, just conversation. And as we're walking away, I'm kind of just keeping to myself, and my friend walks up to me and goes, Taffy, what did she say to me? She was like, you're a disaster. It was something like that, just being like, Taffy, come on. And I was like, what? And she's like, get his number. And I've never asked for a person's number like that ever in my life. I just don't. I keep to myself, and I'm chill with that. I'll compliment people like that I don't know, like on the, like if I pass somebody and I'm like, oh, you know, your hair looks really nice today. That I will do, but I have never gone up to somebody and been like, can I have your number? So I was like, absolutely not. No, that's like, I just, and and she was like, you know what, get his number. And I'm like, no. And then I get the teddy bear she wanted, and as I check out, she disappears. I'm looking around and she's gone, and I know what she's doing. So I just run to the register and I'm like, hi, thank you, can you check me out, please? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? And right as I am like handing them my card and finishing up the transaction, my friend scoots over to me and goes, his name is Chris, he's this years old, and I got his number for you. And I was like, you what? What did you do? And apparently she'd like snuck up to this guy like a straight up creeper and was like, hey, my friend wants to trade music, like song recommendations with you, but she's too shy to ask, can I get your number for her? And she got it. And I like freaked out because I was not expecting it. Was it a good freak out? Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, dang. Okay, sure. And did I ever text the guy? I actually did something I never would have done, and I did. I actually did. And I was like, hi, I don't remember what I said. I think I have it screenshotted somewhere, but I was just like, hi, it's the girl from the comic book store. And he was like, hi, girl from the comic book store. He said something small, and I responded, and then he never responded again. So, like, that love story let me tell you, driving home from that encounter with State of Grace playing, which is totally the song that would start in the beginning of a romance movie, playing really loud on my earbuds. Dude, let me tell you, I thought I was straight up in a Hallmark movie for a hot second. I was like, I got this guy's number. I'm gonna, maybe I'll text him. Maybe this is the beginning of my ginormous love story. And then he never responded ever again. But it was an adventure. I'll have to tell my grandmother. Be like, hey, I almost got one of the boyfriends you think I have. Oh my word. But yeah, those are two stories that I'm gonna tell forever. They're just gonna be great icebreaker stories with meeting random people. Like, hey, do you want to hear about how my grandmother thinks that I have a very long, like, list of ex-boyfriends, and how I almost how I got this stranger's number just because he liked Taylor Swift. Those are two great stories, so I thought I'd tell them to you guys. I should really go to bed because I work in the morning. Depending on when I post this, maybe I'll post this after work. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I hope you have a lovely night, and I hope you enjoyed my very chill, laid back storytelling time. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Take care of yourself, drink your water, have a lovely day, night, whatever time it is. You're the best. I don't really know how to end this. If you actually, no, you know what? If you have stories like this, like so random but hilarious stories like this, please leave them in the comment, like wholesome ones, clean ones, obviously, but give me them in the comments because I want to read them. If you have any, please share, because that would bless my heart. We can all be awkward together. Yay! Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.